It's beautiful Sunday, November 30th, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. Hard to kill indeed.
Hard to kill.
Winning is a skill, I'm told.
Winning is a skill that is forged over a lot of painful practices, painful results in games. Yeah, man, it's taken a while to get here. We've been through some stuff, but they've come out the other side with a fantastic skill, and that's figuring out how to get it done whenever you have to.
They finished the regular season 10-2. A tremendous year by any measure.
Yep.
Just a fantastic regular season for this program against arguably the toughest schedule in the entire country. Just a lot to be excited about, man. We still got the rest of this season, but you've got a great staff in place. You've got a great culture in place. You got a lot of key guys coming back. We'll talk about the coaching carousel. That thing is spinning right now. We don't have to worry about any of that. And it feels nice to just sit back, know that our squad is in the playoff, and that, all this chaos is happening around us, and we're kind of chilling, man. It feels good. It feels real good.
Yeah, it's nice to be just a casual observer, right? Just to watch everything else, all the chaos. What a win. I got to tell you, and you were down on the field. We've played in some cold games. There's been some weather games where maybe it's rainy, there's some precipitation, but I don't know. I can't think back like when the last time I've covered a game or been a part of a game where the weather was that big of a factor. I mean, you basically couldn't go north. Nobody went north pretty much the entire game until, we paid it off with that touchdown to Satania. It was a pretty wild game.
pretty consistent 30-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah.
That was fun. I had a good time.
Wind chill in the 20s.
All the players looked like they were having a blast.
Yeah.
No, it was a weird weather game, and there's no doubt it affected how the game was called offensively for both teams.
Yeah.
But then again, the mistakes in the game for both teams, I'm not sure the wind had to do with them at all. You know what I mean? It was more just bad decision making, but we'll get to all that. Ted, let's start on the defensive side. Just another really, really good performance from Oklahoma's defense. That group bailed the entire team out again, man.
They did. It was really good. They started fast, performed really well. The only real stuff they gave up, we'll get to, but the longest run of the day was 23 yards. That was that scramble by Van Buren. Longest pass of the day was a 30-yard kind of fade jump ball to Trey Green on the sideline that, was really pretty good coverage, just a good ball. He's 6'7", 240. He's going to make those plays,
Day Jordan, I don't know what else he could have done, man. That great coverage, battles for the ball. Just Trey Green is a different kind of beast in those situations.
Yep. LSU was 2 of 14. On third down, they were 0 for 1. On fourth down, that was the final play of the game for the defense. 198 yards on 55 plays. Quarterback was 15 of 26. Had an interception. They ran the ball for 85 yards on 29 carries. Forced the one turnover, which was huge. But all in all, just a really good performance. We had 7 3-and-outs. Throw a one play interception drive in there. Like the way they opened up the game in the first quarter, LSU, 3-and-out, one play drive interception in the end zone, touchback, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. That's the first quarter of the football game. And, they had the scoring drives for the most part where LSU got great starting field position via turnover or, they had that long kickoff return. But all in all, just really good team defense. Statistically, it's not like a great game. We didn't get a sack, but they didn't really drop back pass. It was all sprint, boot, screen, fade, like one step fade, very few drop back passes at all. And we still had some good pressures on the quarterback. We had some TFLs in there against the run game. I thought we did a really good job. We had, one of the bad drives we had, the first drive we gave up, the field goal was we had a face mask call, which is terrible. The LSU guy grabs Guillory's face mask first. So they both have each other's face mask and they go flying into the sideline. I thought that was a bad call. At a minimum, it should have been offsetting. And then we had a roughing the passer on PJ, god awful call. SEC officials continue to be just horribly atrocious. We gave up the double pass to Bauer Sharp. I think it was 17 yards. There's really not anything there. Double pass to Bauer Sharp for 17, a 23-yard scramble, the 30-yard fade ball. They hit a couple of, dig routes or plays over the middle, but that's really all there is. So, defensively, you had the turnover early, Peyton Bowen. He makes incredible plays about 3.5 hours apart. He makes that interception in the end zone, which was incredible, where he just jumps up and plucks it out of the air, and then obviously bats that ball on 4th and 2 or 3 to end the game. And I thought he was really good. But that's kind of it. That's kind of it before I hit some guys that played well.
There's really not much more to say. I will say this, and we'll get to it when we talk about the offense, but the offense put this defense in some horrible spots in this game. And this defense throughout this season, their ability to deliver when the offense puts them in terrible spots, it's so impressive to me. That's got to be so frustrating for that group, but they seem to be at their best in a lot of those moments, right? When the offense just puts them in a horrible position.
Over like the last 2 years, the amount of times our defense, after a turnover, has been inside the red zone and either got away with just a field goal or got the ball back outright has been insane. I need to go back and figure that number up because like that's like you force a field goal whenever someone turns it over and has the ball, in plus territory, like the 25 or 30 yard line. and you force a field goal. Those are huge plays, huge series in a football game. And you're right, we've done that a lot. It's interesting. A lot of the conversation about Oklahoma in the playoff is, well, they got outgained by Tennessee, they got outgained by Alabama, but what you don't realize is lost in there is, I think that either the Tennessee game or maybe it was Alabama. We were plus 22 yards in average starting field position. And that goes back to special teams not turning the football over, and you're able to win those games. Plus 22, that means they have to go 22 yards further than we do to score, right? And you add that up over 14 drives, 12 or 14 drives, that turns out to be a pretty substantial amount of yards. And that's where, that difference is made up. But this game, field position was not in our favor. We did not win that. But all in all, I thought, yet again, the defense comes up with huge plays, huge stops. I mean, after all of that game, how well they played, we got 4th and 2 in essentially the game in our pretty deep in our own territory, and they got to find a way to win it, right? I mean, so just incredible that they can continue to put these complete games together. And unless you've got something else, I will hit some guys that I thought played well.
No, I think just that I'm not surprised because this defense just continues to deliver time and time again.
Yep.
They are they are the reason, and I know football's the ultimate team game, right? But they are the reason this team is where they're at. 10-2,
yep.
Ready to most likely host a playoff game. Like it's because of Oklahoma's defense. That's one of the best units in all of college football. And I'm not just talking about defense. I'm talking about period.
Yep. Well, here's the thing. Every makeup of every football team is different. Some teams are offensively led, some teams are defensively led. Your DNA across all these teams are a little bit different. For a long time, we won games by controlling the game with our offense and then timely stops by our defense. Got an interception here, got a turnover on downs there, got a stop late whenever you had to get the ball back. And it's flipped. Now the defense plays, a good, solid, complete game. And the offense, even though it's frustrating at times, timely plays, timely touchdowns, score on some explosive plays. Whatever it is, the formula is working right now. Guys that I thought played well, obviously Peyton Bowen, interception early, which, who knows what that game looks like if, they score a touchdown that early in the game and we're kind of chasing them the rest of the way. I thought Kip Lewis again had a really nice day, had a big pass breakup, couple of really nice tackles. I thought Owen Heineke was really solid. Made a really nice play on a sweep that I thought was excellent. Physical, a couple of really good physical tackles in the box. Omasigo, now he gave up that tight end little back across the grain route. It wasn't so much a hide play as it was just, coming back against the grain, and eyes got caught in the backfield, too late to react, and Trey Green dropped it, right? That probably would have been a 15-yard play or so. Robert Spears Jennings was coming up with as long as he made that tackle, would have limited it to be a huge play. But Omasigo did make a couple of nice plays. David Stone, big tackle for loss when LSU was coming out. We had him pinned deep once. He was physical on the interior, active. It was a kind of a quiet game for the defensive line statistically. I already touched on that, but Taylor Wine did a great job. They ran this little counter flip play where they've got, the tight end and the guard pulls. Tight end acts like he's going to pull and then jumps out, and then the back takes his counter footwork, and then it's the flip play you see in the NFL on short yardage. and they ran it out of the counter, which I thought was pretty cool. Taylor Wine's great on that play. Reads it, reacts to it, flushes it all the way out, and we rally and make the play. I thought Jacoby Johnson came in some spot duty and did real well. He had a really nice tackle on a bubble. We got hit on that double pass, so we were a little bit slower to just go pile on those things as the game wore on, knowing that they were going to have to just find a way to trick us, to get us. So he did a great job. They threw one. He kind of waited a count, made sure it wasn't a pass, planted, came up, made a really physical tackle. Thought that was nice. Grayson Holt was fantastic yet again. Blew up that reverse play, knocked the ball down, turned it into a huge loss. And, they were able to get back into field goal range, but that was critical in that point of the game. Had a couple of really nice pressures. He has a pressure on the final play where he's running a stunt to the right and the quarterback's kind of scrambling out to the left. He runs all the way around the hump. He's pressuring the throw. That's why the throw has to come out whenever it does, and Peyton Bowen knocks it out. I thought Grayson Holt was excellent. And PJ had the roughing the passer call. I already talked about it. It's the disgusting call. It's pathetic. But I thought he had a great day. Incredibly physical in the run. He on film, he had white gloves on film, and his arms are like they're so long on film. It's so cool to see, but just so powerful at the point of attack. I mean, he's got that tackle going backwards the entire game. Did some really good stuff. I thought Guillory had a really nice day, had a couple of nice tackles. It was like, oh my gosh, who was I'm drawing the corner and the wide receiver in the NFL that used to just basically fist fight every time they played each other the entire game. I'll think about it in a minute. Anyways, that was what Guillory was doing with the LSU receivers the entire day.
It's a famous one. He rips his helmet off and then they literally fist fight. Who is it?
Yeah. Oh God. I don't know why.
This is going to drive us insane.
It was at like multiple places. They were at different teams, and it always happened nonstop. But
it'll come to us.
So what I guess the point of that is Guillory is conducting himself like a first round corner. All right. That's how it goes. You get those receivers so angry, all they want to do is fight, and he's right there standing toe to toe with them. All around, great day defensively, great game plan, got the stops whenever we needed to.
Andre Johnson and Finnegan. That's the famous one I'm thinking of. Those guys did not like it. That's the most. That's the one that I was thinking of. I don't know if that's who you were thinking of.
Yeah. There's been several of them throughout the years, but that's what that game looked like. Great stuff. Great stuff. Another really good day. Like I said, longest run was 23 yards. That was a quarterback scramble. Longest pass was 30 yards. We were worried about the athletic receivers, maybe them hitting us on some chunk plays. Weather was definitely a factor in that, but all told, another outstanding performance by the defense.
Now you're just hoping this nearly 3-week break, you can get our Mason Thomas back. You can get your best player back on defense, get a little healthier at some spots, and be at full tilt, ready to roll for the playoff.
Yep, freshen up some. It's been a grind. Defensively, he's played a bunch of snaps down the stretch in some of these games. This one was a lighter load, but get healthy, get your legs back, start gearing up for whatever matchup you're going to have. And proud of these guys. Hell of a season they've put together.
No doubt about it. Anything else?
I think that's it.
They're really good.
Really good.
Analysis right there. Really good. It's a real good defense.
Summed it up by that, that would have saved us some time, but outstanding stuff, man.
All right, let's talk about what everyone appears to have opinion on now that follows college football. Let's talk about OU's offense. But first, Download the Loves app from Love's Travel Stops, your guide to savings on the road. Fill up for less with a discount on fuel, 10 cents off on every gallon of gas, and 25 cents off on every gallon of auto diesel. And don't forget, in the store, you can unlock mobile deals on the Loves app to save on snacks, drinks, and select meals at Love's restaurants. Plus, you can plan your pit stops for your next road trip with the map and route planner. All from Love's, the heart of the highway.
Steaks are back. Didi Ranch's luxury steak cuts are restocked and ready to ship straight to your door. From mouth-watering ribeyes to silky smooth fillets, this is the best beef Oklahoma has to offer. And here's the kicker. They're now shipping next day air for free when you use code SOONER at checkout. That's right. Next day air like Amazon Prime, but for steak. Didi Ranch delivers taste and tradition the luxurious way. Order today at DidierRanch.com and get your steaks just in time for the holidays.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and proud official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. Guys, it's November in Norman, and that means 2 more home football games where you can grab Simple Modern's limited edition, brand new design drinkware that's only available in the stadium. These also make the perfect holiday gift for every Sooner fan in your life, especially for those who can't make it to a game. I'm telling you, it's the perfect way to cheer on the Sooners. And with 10% of all profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans on and off the field. Simple Modern, good everywhere. All right, breaking down what we saw from OU's offense against LSU's defense. Let's start with the positives. How about that, Ted? Let's be positive. 393 yards of total offense is encouraging for this group.
Yeah.
We can win with that for sure. Now, do you want to be more efficient down in and down out? I mean, there's no doubt about it, but 393, if you said, hey, OU's offense is going to have 393 yards of offense, I'm feeling great about our chances to win with where we're at with our defense and special teams. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, it's not an efficient 393. You had the 2 explosive plays, which this is a great example of how explosive plays can make things look a lot better than they are. You had the screen to Burks, which was just an excellent call by Ben Arbuckle. Why LSU is bringing 0 in that situation, especially with Jay Knott in the backfield, I have no idea. I think that was a mistake by their defensive staff, but they make the mistake. You dial up the tunnel screen to Burks. He plays with great speed, takes it to the house. There's really no one there. It's a great call into what they're doing defensively. Really good from Arbuckle. Great execution. Just clinic tape on the tunnel screen, which the screen game has not been a strength of this offense this season. It was good to see them catch the defense in a bad call and execute at a high level. And it was good to see Burks just get out there in space. It feels like he hasn't had any of those situations this season. So that had to feel really good for Burks. So you had that play, and then they just don't cover Satania on the game-winning touchdown. There's no analysis other than that. I mean, he runs a vertical right down the field, and they just don't cover our best player. Thank you. You know, it's like a 58-yard touchdown that wins us the game. I wish I could say, oh, just some tremendous design. No, they just don't cover our best player. But when a team makes a mistake, we talk about it all the time on here. You got to make them pay for it.
Got to.
Mateer sees it, delivers a nice catchable ball. Satania catches it. I imagine it felt like that ball was in the air forever for him.
Those plays that's like the hardest ball to catch whenever you can think about it for like 10 seconds wide open.
But huge critical error for LSU's defense. The offense makes him pay for it. Another positive. And I know they just busted a coverage and let Satania run right down the field wide open, but you're down 13-10. You got to go make something happen or else you're going to lose the game. And they went and made something happen. Now, LSU's defense aided it in a very big way, but still, You're down 3. You got to go make something happen in the offense. Made something happen, won them the football game. 75 yards rushing against that LSU defense is not good enough in my mind. I don't think they are particularly good in the core of their defense. Now, Pyburn 44 coming into the game, I told you, guy's really good. And everyone on our team took turns getting abused by that guy. Everyone. I mean, that dude is a grown man at end for LSU.
It looks just like Taylor Wine because of that 44. It's like Taylor Wine's played for both teams.
He looks like Taylor Wine with 2 more years of strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Is what he let. Like, he's just a physical guy. Tight ends had trouble with him. Our tackles, everyone had trouble with that guy. And he made a lot of plays in this game for them. But overall, I was disappointed in the lack of success in the ground game against the core of that LSU defense. There's really no other way for me to say it. And I mean, before I get into the kind of position by position breakdown, just overall, if you're OU's offense, you just got to be very thankful you have that defense, man. Yep. Because you can't be inefficient and turn the ball over. If you're going to be inefficient but take care of the ball, okay, we can work with that. Right? We're playing to the strengths of our football team. 3 turnovers, man, that cannot happen. A bunch of penalties, too. We had four false starts at home, and it should have been 5. Fasusi flinches, they don't call it. Holds in critical situations. Now, some of them is just like, You're putting guys in bad spots, like Jaron Kanik, 3rd and 1 against 44. That's not a good matchup. That's not the matchup you should create on a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 1.5. You're not going to win that battle. It's been proven. But the penalties bothered me maybe more than anything. Pre-snap penalties, the holds. That is really frustrating. We already know, this thing has been a struggle offensively. You can't put yourself in 1st and 15 when you're struggling like this offensively, Ted.
It feels like a death sentence every time, doesn't it?
I know, man. And so that's like, if you're struggling offensively, you got to be good at all of the little things, right? Your alignments, you got to be really assignment sound. Like, you can't have penalties. Like, these things.
You got to take care of the easy. Like, that's the easy stuff, right?
Right.
Just handle the easy stuff.
The stuff that doesn't involve blocking people and running away from people with routes and running through guys with the ball in your head. Like, we got to take care of the little things to set the group up for success as a whole. And there were just too many little things in this game where you're going, man, we got wide receivers jumping off sides. I mean, come on. That can't happen. We're at home. We got offensive linemen flinching. We're at home. I mean, that stuff that can't happen. And those penalties played a big role in this game. But that is just something that absolutely needs to get cleaned up. Looking at the run game as a whole, I mentioned just a bit disappointing for me. Kind of lean on a lot of zone, air quotes, zone, inside zone, split zone. We did run the mid zone play that I like a few more times, sprinkled in some counters. The QB run game just continues to struggle. I think there's just too much going on in a lot of the speed sweep stuff. LSU executed the same plan that they did a year ago. Remember when we ran all that stuff against Alabama, got them confused, and then went to LSU and none of it went?
Yep.
They gave Mateer a give read, or excuse me, they gave Mateer a keep read. or a give read, and their linebackers just played off of it. They were very synced up. So the defensive end would attack the mesh point, forcing material like it's a give read, give it to the sweep action to the outside, and their backers would just fly outside. And there were just if you were wondering why are there so many unblocked guys right here, it's they dictated what we did in those situations, and their backers knew that they were dictating it and flew to it. Didn't respect the QB gap scheme option at all because they knew they were giving him the give read. It's good coaching is what it is.
Yep.
It's good. That's good execution of a solid plan in those situations. One thing I'll say about the zone stuff, and I've talked about this a lot on here, I feel like, over the last couple of years, whether it's the inside zone, the split zone, even the mid zone play, the ball never hits front side. So it's really not zone. Going back and remember us talking about Missouri and their outside zone attack, and just the reason why it's so effective is because the variables it creates, where it's going to hit. Defenses do not have to respect the front side of our run game at all because the ball never goes there in the zone concepts. Never. I mean, mid-zone, even the mid-zone play, it's cutting back. And like they don't stretch the defense and threaten them front side at all, and it makes it very, very difficult to run the ball. Why they do it that way, they're not the only ones in college football that does it that way. It makes very little sense to me. I think we should get in the pistol and run mid-zone. The mid-zone play, like the combinations in the mid-zone play, especially at center and guard, it's the best-looking thing we got. There was a GY counter that looked really good in this game, but this offense continues to search for answers in the run game.
Yeah. Well, as I view it through a defensive lens, I've kind of said the same thing all along. Like, it's really easy to play defense when you don't have to move.
Oh,
what's hard
Ted.
is whenever you've got zone is flying this way, your gap is moving 100 miles an hour that way. You've got to fly over there. Oh my God, it's boot, and then you got to turn and scramble. But everything is just played right here. As a linebacker, you're just kind of like this the whole time. You don't really have to go anywhere.
That's how we're doing it. And the results are the results. I feel like I feel like a broken record at this point,
Yeah.
So I would love for them to make it a more traditional mid-zone, wide zone attack. Can they establish that in 2-3 weeks? I don't know. It's kind of seems like they're going with the inside zone, split zone, RPO stuff, which
Hey, I mean,
we have not executed at a high level. Like the results are the results.
you're 12 games in. You probably are who you are at this point, as far as like your philosophy, what you're going to do in the run game and even the passing game. So, you just, I guess, have to get better execution at what you're going to be.
Yeah, I get getting into the position stuff. John Mateer, 23 of 38, 318, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions. Sorry. 3 interceptions. Now the first one, hey, Susie gets beat inside, bat ball, that I'm not putting that on Mateer. That's more on Fasusi than Mateer. But the other two, especially the second one, not great. Throws it into the middle of the field and in the crowd for I have no idea what he's looking at on the second interception. I got no clue.
To me, that's just the seam route right to the safety, right? That was the second one?
Yeah.
It looked to me like he's before the snap, he's predetermined he's throwing the ball there for whatever reason. Like, not seeing it well, just hit the other seam route. I don't know, but it was not a look that says, okay, that's you're reading it out, and then that's the throw that you go to. It just felt like a predetermined throw. There wasn't really seeing the defense and reacting to the defense at all.
And that's been an issue for him.
It's really the same thing on third interception too.
Yeah, he was that a back shoulder throw to Giovanni Gibson? This is my issue with that. It's like Giovanni Gibson hasn't run by anyone. You cannot throw a back shoulder ball against a corner that does not feel threatened by speed.
That's right.
And when you look at it, like the corner is sitting there staring at it.
Yeah, he's like shuffling with him.
Yeah. And he continues to give Giovanni Gibson chances on some of those, and it is not going well. Now, some of the stuff in the middle of the field that Giovanni Gibson is running looks really good. Some of these in-breaking routes, I'd like to see us get him more involved in the middle of the field. Personally, I'd like to see us move him into the slot and let him use his size.
He's more like a possession guy, right?
Yeah. Let him use it. Be almost like a small tight end, because he's not running by anyone. Right now, like, he hasn't run by a corner yet. But he's done some nice things, like he's used his size and his physicality in the middle of the field. In this game, the deep over route early in the game, nice route, nice catch. Deep dig, another big play from him, like nice stuff. Now, he had the one where the ref ducks and it hits him right in between the ones and he drops it, which wasn't great. But once again, like working the middle of the field, that stuff looks good for Giovanni. The stuff where you need an outside wide receiver to take the top off and make a defense feel threatened by speed, that has just not been something he's done at a high level.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider depending on who you're playing in the playoff. Like if you play Notre Dame, buddy, let me tell you, their defensive backs, bro, they got a corner 15. He's as good as I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Long, can absolutely run, super physical. Like they got dudes at defensive back, like high round picks at defensive back. So like you need to set your guys up for success as much as you can. So I'm getting ahead of myself here a little bit, but Giovanni Gibson did 3 for 66. Talked about some of the nice plays. Had this strange play where like Mateer puts it on him. He's running the drag route and he just falls to the ground like he's about to get blown up and there's no one around him.
Yeah.
That was strange.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like there's some things to really like from Giovanni Gibson, and then some things where you go, that's, we're still a work in progress here. Still working his way back. Deion Burks it was great to see him get in space a little bit on the screen. Mentioned that earlier, but he ends up with 4 for 61. You see the speed on the touchdown, right? We got to find more ways to get this guy opportunities down the field. And one of the things that's a little confusing to me, Ted, is it doesn't seem like he's running many of the over routes that are kind of core staples of this offense, where he can use his speed and like run away from guys. I would like to see more of that from him. Also, it would be great if John Mateer, whether it's Satania or Burks, would be better at recognizing when those guys have man coverage, when those guys are one-on-one, because there are several plays in this game, and I'm not saying they just like run by guys and create several yards of separation. But they've got a step or two in some of these situations where they're running routes down the field and they're one-on-one.
Not open, but winning with leverage, right? Like
I would just I would like to see us give those two guys in particular the opportunities to make some plays in those situations.
Mhm.
Like push it down the field a little bit because let's just be real. Ted, with what this offense has been up to this point, are we going to put together 10, 12, 14 play drives and go score touchdowns against the defenses we're going to see in the playoff?
Doesn't feel that way.
Does not feel that way. So maybe let's try to produce some more explosive plays. When those guys have their one-on-ones and they're running vertical routes, give them a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love because there's a couple times in this game where Burks is ripping it down the field, playing with speed, and you can almost see him get down the field and kind of just go, of
Oh,
course. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to be frustrating like that. We see it Saturday after Saturday after Saturday. Other teams, like guys are running down the field with speed, and quarterbacks say, okay, here we go.
Yep.
Giving him a chance. Would love to see that happen more for Burks and for Satania. And really, it's just those two guys. Those are the two guys we have that are going to go win with speed. So when you have those situations, when they get man and they're pushing it down the field, like give these guys some chances to go make some plays for you. Satania, 9 for 121, had the game-winning touchdown. Great catch. Probably felt like a punt return for him, maybe. But he is he had one play. It may have been my favorite player of the entire game, and it was the play before Mateer throws the second interception.
Mhm.
Mateer throws it to him in the middle of the field, and he's fully extended. I mean, doesn't hesitate at all, doesn't peek for the safety at all, goes up, fully stretched out, makes a play in the middle of the field, moves the chains.
Mhm.
And it's like that is a fearless play from a wide receiver.
And that was that a third and long, I think.
I think that's right.
I think it was the third and long, and we had to have it at the time.
Yeah. Well, it felt like we had to have a lot in this game, Ted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you may need to be more specific. But he continues to just be such a playmaker for this group and really nice job fielding some of the punts in the weird wind.
Yeah.
I thought he did a really nice job in some of those situations. That was not easy. It may have looked easy if you were watching it on TV. Anyone that was in the stadium knows that those weren't easy to field.
Ended the regular season with 950 receiving, 65 for 950 and 7 touchdowns. That's a good year. Knocking on the door of 1,000 yards.
Pretty good. Only other thing to mention at receivers, like it'd be great to get Keontez Lewis back for a college football playoff game.
Yeah, I agree.
Could really use his size and his ability to work the middle of the field. That would be helpful. There's no doubt. Moving on to the running back room, that group is just beat up, man.
Yep.
Beat up. I do want to compliment them. I thought they were fantastic in blitz pickup.
Agree.
Xavier Robinson, Torrey Blaylock. I mean, these guys are battling through injuries, but when they needed to be physical in those situations, they were really, really good. Torrey Blaylock, 11 for 42, couple of nice chunk runs, which you look and go, hey, it looks like the explosiveness is there. It looks like the speed is there. Would still like to see him when he's in the open field. It's almost like he goes and seeks out contact.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to not get hit, Torrey.
Right.
You know, especially he's clearly dealing with some stuff in his upper body. Like, try to avoid guys as opposed to going and running into them as hard as you can. You know what I mean? But I do respect his physicality. He's clearly playing hurt. And just multiple times throughout the game where he's coming off the field, that left arm's hanging. Looks like something was going on with his hand. Just he needs this break before the college football playoff game badly.
It's been a long season for that young man. As a true freshman, you got to go all the way back. Remember, right as training camp started, he was basically the only back in all through training camp, all through the season he's been there. And since it feels like the first or second game, he's been battling that shoulder. So just incredibly gutsy effort this year from a freshman.
All the respect in the world
Yep.
for him, but hopefully he can get a little healthier in this break and can be more of kind of what we saw earlier in the season. Xavier Robinson, 6 carries for 9 yards, just clearly nowhere near 100%. I appreciate his toughness and, like I mentioned, was really good in some of the blitz pickup stuff, but you can just tell he's got very little explosion right now as a runner. And we saw Jay not get out on the field. I mean, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So this group needs to get healthy, and this is where we get into this awkward conversation again. Javonte Barnes goes out for senior day, right?
Yep.
He's in sweats. It's clear to me he is going to transfer, right? But he has now preserved his red shirt, correct?
Yep.
So in my mind, there is absolutely no reason he shouldn't play in the college football playoff game. As long as his teammates are cool with it, which it's an interesting conversation to be had there. But this team needs him. And playing in a college football playoff game, there is no better way to try to increase your value in the transfer portal than going out in a college football playoff game and playing really well if you're Javonte Barnes.
I agree.
The risk of getting hurt is worth the reward. No doubt. You go out, you play well, you can show all kinds of teams across the country. We know you don't want to be here next year, but you can go show everyone, hey, look at me, I can play.
There's the showcase you want, right?
That's what he wants, right? Wants to go somewhere else and be the guy, right? Well, perfect opportunity to show everyone that you're worth paying a lot of money in the transfer portal. Here we go. Here's your opportunity, man.
Yep.
I'm very interested to see how that situation shakes out. Well, Venable said he's in, what was the term? He's in good standing.
Yeah.
I think most people can probably tell at this point in time how I feel about it. But it doesn't matter how I feel. How do the guys in that locker room feel about it? That's what matters. The guys on that staff. Like, if all's good, then he needs to play because this team needs him, man.
Yep. I agree.
I know it's awkward, but here we are again with this conversation. Like, he looked healthy, jogging out there, waving to the crowd for senior day.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's so hard for me because it's a different world. It's such a different world. But
if you want to get paid and go play somewhere in the portal, there is no better way to get people's attention than to go out and play well in a college football playoff game.
Yeah.
You know? Or at least that's how I view it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if now that the regular season's over that, guys in this situation make those announcements that they're entering the transfer portal, or if you're a playoff team, if you hang around and you play, I don't know. But, as we've talked about, I mean, it's one thing if you've been passed up on the depth chart by a couple of guys and you're not getting any carries and, I understand that situation a little bit more than whenever you've got a true freshman that's playing like this for an entire season, another guy that's got like 2 knee braces on, basically just trying to find a way to do something that can help and battling through injury. It totally changes the situation for me. But
he's on the sideline in a uniform.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would be awfully nice if he could contribute. Tight end. Jaron Canick, 6 for 54. A couple big catches on the last drive to get that thing rolling a little bit. He got called for a hold on a 3rd and short. Just was put in a bad situation there. Bad matchup for him, but did some good things like on the back side of the mid zone play where he's kind of flying inside and digging guys out. I liked what he did in some of those situations. But yeah, when we get this guy the ball, good things tend to happen. Ted
Yep.
Mateer missed him a couple times. There's one, he throws it behind him. He's in the middle of the
Yep.
field, maybe can make something happen. But it seems like when we get this guy his touches, like good things tend to happen. He does a nice job with yards after the catch.
Feels like rarely does the defensive back, the first guy there, get him down.
Yeah.
He usually either steps through that guy, whatever, fights off the tackle. Rarely does that first guy get him down. He's good for some yards after contact every time he catches the football. And I'll take this opportunity to say, as he was out there for senior day, great kid. I love what he's done for this program. Switching positions is not easy at this level. The mutants that you have to block out there at tight end, it was always going to be a really big ask. But the things that he's done well, like catching the ball out of the backfield, out there in the flat, over the middle and stuff, he's been a big weapon for us.
Wish I could see another season of him at that spot because I think that he's starting to show like some better knowledge when it comes to route running, how to set guys up, things like that, how to use his leverage, how to push off subtly. Like you can see him getting better at some of those things, and you're just looking at it going, oh man, he's out of time.
Those things, it takes a while for those just to be second nature, right?
Right.
It just doesn't happen as fast when you have to think about it and process it all. So no, but he consider what the rest of the roster has looked like there. We absolutely had to have him this year, and he's made some critical plays. You go back to the Michigan game. He's done some great stuff for us. We had to have him there this year.
No doubt. Caden Helms caught a nice drag route on the boot play from Mateer. Was nice to see him get loose a little bit, and then had the one on the 3rd down where all Mateer's got to do, he's wide open in the flat. All Mateer's got to do is just put it on him a little out in front, and he gets a nice gain there, move the sticks, but throws it kind of high and inside to him, and it ends up being one of those plays where you could audibly hear the crowd's disgust. Like
that's like the one that everyone's going to latch on to, and say like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of variables out there, but here's the easiest throw of the game for you.
Yeah. And wasn't great. Now, Carson Kent got a couple snaps. I will say, like adding to my complaints list for the offense, I really liked Venables getting aggressive on the 4th and 1 at midfield. I thought that was a good decision. However, getting in 13 personnel and putting 3 tight ends on the field, once I saw that, I thought it was a bad decision.
You should have ran on the field and called timeout.
Considered it, Ted. Once again, and it's nothing against the tight end group, but like getting in 13 personnel and running inside zone. And Foje is actually the one that gets beat. He gives up the penetration. That's what kills the play. But it's 4th and 1 at midfield. Like, you have to have your best players on the field. And we are not a 13 personnel team.
You're not changing the equation. You're putting more guys out there that are stalemates or losing battles instead of putting more guys out there that you feel like can win whatever one-on-ones they're going to have in that situation.
Yes, and not only as blockers, but as route runners.
That's right.
13 personnel in 4th and 1. I did want to call timeout. You're right. Just no. Offensive line. I want to start with Fabechi Wiwu. I believe that man made him some money in this game, proving that he can play center the way that he did. it was a performance that just reinforces that he's the best we got. He's the best offensive lineman we got. Wasn't perfect. There's some things where now he's got to learn to use his left hand as a weapon at center. I mean, you got to protect yourself with your left hand a lot when you play center, but it looked like he's been playing it for a long time to me on tape. No
We didn't
snap
talk about it.
issues.
It felt to me like the middle of the pocket was way firmer.
For
And I
sure.
and I don't know if that's because he was playing center or if that was just, kind of an LSU thing or what, but
He's the best center we have. I've seen one game. I The way he comes off in the run game, especially in the mid zone stuff, like he plays the position the way it should be played. He comes off the ball in the run game, Ted.
mm-hmm.
He's not just covering guys up. He's trying to hit dudes and create movement. I loved some of the stuff, like some of the velocity and violence he displayed. And sometimes that gets you out of position a little bit on some run combinations. I'm fine with that, man. Go and drill down linemen, and good things tend to happen, you know? I thought that he was, all things considered, like he was fantastic. Dude's never played center in a game in his life, to my knowledge, and looked very natural and very good. Looked like, and he was our best lineman on the field, playing a position he's never played. It's pretty good, man. It was really solid in pass protection, just like he's been all season long. Now, is him at center, like, does that get our best, most effective five on the field? I don't think so. I think Michael at center and Weewu at guard is our best, most effective five, especially after watching Foje struggle the way that he did at guard in this game. I think so, and I'll let Venables talk about the situation with Michael, kind of a scary deal there, but they are expecting him to be back for the playoff game.
Good.
So that is, I still think Michael at center, Weewu at right guard, and then figure out what you're going to do at right tackle between Foje and Simmons. Simmons seems like the more reliable option at this point, but Weewu's great. Really, really impressive. Maybe center's not that hard, you know? Made it look awfully easy, dude. Michael Fasusi, another game where I have a very high standard for him because of his physical talent and ability. And it's just another game where he played below my standard for him. And admittedly, my standard for him is very high, especially when you consider he's a true freshman. But I just want to see, like, it needs to be more physical, man. There's too many times in the run game where he's just getting stuffed. Just right at the line of scrimmage or taken a yard backwards. Like, he's got to be more physical and play with more power. And he's too passive in pass protection as well, for my liking. And there's something that I call first touch in pass protection. When you watch tackles, like, who gets the first touch? The edge guy or the tackle? And when Fasusi gets first touch, whether that's outside hand, inside hand, which he never uses his inside hand, it is crazy to me. That thing should be an absolute weapon for him. And it's like his right hand might as well not be there. It's crazy. But when he gets first touch, when he is active with his hands and aggressive, it looks really good, man. When he absorbs and is kind of backing up and looks unsure and a little tentative, it does not look good. Whatever we got to do to get him to be more aggressive, more confident, more assertive, just across the board, you got to find out what that is, because when he plays that way, and there are snaps of him playing that way that look awesome, when he plays that way, he's really damn good. We got to eliminate the absorbing and just oh, I'm getting in the way snaps for him. I We need more cut it loose, be the aggressor, swing mentality for him. And sometimes when you play with that mentality, some bad things are going to happen. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a hell of a lot better than him backing up, getting beat inside because he won't use his right hand. That ain't any good at all.
Yeah. Well,
Swing, swing, big fella.
I think it'll come. You've played, you've been around on some really good offensive lines, college and NFL. Like, the left tackle is the king of the football team,
No doubt.
right? The
Tone, tone
left
setter.
left tackle is the guy. He's the locker room. It's like you've got there's a bunch of kids and then there's the grown man that's in the locker room. That's how the legit left tackles are. And I think it comes from confidence and experience and physicality. You're the freshman now and you're kind of feeling your way out there, but there has to be a point where you just go grab it and you say, I'm that dude. And everyone knows it.
That mentality needs to shift in the next couple weeks.
Yep.
Because he's going to be playing whoever we play. They're going to have some good guys at the edge position. And frankly, he just has to play better. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Now, Eddie Pierre-Louis, in this game, too many snaps of him looking unsure where he's working in the run game. Eyes, kind of head looking all over the place. Like, oh, is it that guy? Is it that guy? And that got him in some bad spots. And then I will continue to say it. He makes things so hard on himself in pass protection sometimes with his feet and his hands, like everything just going all over the place and getting way out of his frame, and that forces him to have to make some miraculous recovery. And if he would just dial in the technique, life would just be so much easier for him.
Mm-hmm.
So much easier. But now he continues to play hard, fly around, all that stuff. But I continue to believe, like, if he doesn't get better, like, it's attitude, physicality with technique. Attitude, physicality with technique. Like, that's how you play well along the offensive line. And that needs to be, the technique piece needs to be a big focus of his over the next couple of weeks, because the groups you're going to play in the playoff, if you play with bad technique, you will get exposed. Teams don't make it into the playoff with bad defensive linemen, Ted.
Yep.
And you have to play with good technique. Foj, I'm gonna be real. I was really excited to see him back at guard, just to see. I'd seen some things from him at tackle that made me go, "Hey, man, maybe this guy's just a tackle."
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, okay, going back to the original conversation with him, maybe his football future, like the ceiling's highest at guard, like he could be a big time guard. I did not think he played very well in this game. And once again, I will admit, high expectations for him because of how talented he is. But he just looked very tentative to me. Not much velocity, not much violence. Pads were high a lot of the time. I mean, this is a big, powerful dude just getting stuffed in the run game way too often. I thought, and maybe this is the best explanation, like when things are feeling like they're moving really fast for an offensive lineman, the reactions are actually very slow, if that makes sense. Like when you are anticipating and seeing things clearly, like you move quick when the picture changes. You move slow when it changes and you go,
in catch-up mode, right?
He was in that mode a lot in this game. run game, pass protection, where it's like, hey, man, you got to bump the twist. Let's go. Hurry up. Urgency. Let's go. There were just too many of those. And too many times where, like, he's getting collapsed into Mateer. He's too big and powerful and strong. Like, I I know he's capable of playing a lot better than what he put on tape in this game. Now, once again, I got to continue to remind myself he's a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
He's a true freshman.
And he's had to play a couple of different spots.
But he needs to, like, he's got so much natural power. That dude needs to, at the very least, be coming off the rock and creating movement in the run game.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. But he has to get better if he wants to be on the field in the college football playoff, whether that's at guard or at tackle. Like, he's got to continue to get better in general. But I did not think that overall it was a very good performance for Foje. Not worried about what he's going to be as a player in the future or anything like that, but it's just like, I've got very high standards for him and for Fasusi. And both of those guys played below the standard that I have for them in this game.
Yeah.
Derek Simmons at right tackle, solid. Still not as physical kind of as it was early in the season, but overall thought he had a good day in pass pro. Now he's flashing that outside hand a lot. And I talked about that coming into the game because Pyburn, you throw that outside hand, he does the little swipe and dip move, and clearly Simmons was prepared for that, but he flashes it a lot, and then he just drops his hands. Mm-hmm. Dude, you got to flash, and there's got to be something after the flash. It's flash and inside hand strike, flash, stab, flip, flash, grab. Like, you have to, there has to be something more active after the flash.
It's your setup move.
Yeah,
right?
And it was a good strategy, but you have to know, you can't just flash and then, okay, I'm gonna let you run into me now.
Yeah,
you got to be a little more aggressive with your hands. I thought his feet, though, in pass protection, for the most part, were really solid. Decent in the run game, but that was a lot for the offense, Ted. But it's what everyone's talking about right now.
Yeah.
So
no, I get it. I understand.
The consistency just has to get better. But I think the number one thing overall, I think at this point we know kind of what the limitations of this offense are.
Yes.
You cannot turn the ball over like they did in this game.
Turnovers, procedure penalties. You cannot give the defense, the other football team, anything free. At a minimum. Yeah, if matchup wise, like, we don't have the edge out there, you're playing against a better physical unit athletically. Okay, well, we got to try and isolate some areas where we can make some hay, but we cannot get ourselves in bad down and distance situations because of penalties, because of blown assignments, and you can't turn the football over. Things are going to happen. A batted ball that goes into the linebackers or into this, like, those things are going to happen from time to time, but you can't donate it. And we donated it a couple of times.
No doubt. Just has to be, it's got to be cleaner altogether. I don't know if that breakdown is going to make people feel better or worse. I'm not sure how I feel, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
let's get to call your shot. Yeah, I guess.
It's not made to do either. It's just, it is what it is, right?
I know this. A lot of people out there complaining about OU's offense. I saw Tom Fornelli, Danny Cannell, like all these people want to say, oh, are we really going to let OU in with this offense? Yeah. And you're going to watch it and you're going to enjoy it, nerds. Deal with it. We're coming, baby. And let's hope this group, if this team wants to go and make some noise in the playoff, it's obvious that the offense has to play well. Play well for what they are.
There you go.
This is not a group that's going to go score 40. That is not going to happen. But if you can be efficient and get to 24, you got a chance against anyone in the country with the defense and special teams. But you have to play clean. Very limited when it comes to penalties. You cannot turn it over. You certainly can't turn it over in your own end of the field and give the other team great field position. Like that'll be a death sentence in the college football playoff. But you got a couple weeks to you evaluate everything and say, I'm hoping they go, okay, what are we really good at?
Yep.
And lean into that. 13 personnel on 4th and 1 is not it. You got anything else before I call your shot?
No, I think that's pretty good wrap up of what we saw on Saturday.
Let's get to call your shot. We asked you guys the number one thing that stood out to you in OU's win over LSU. This first one comes from Sports Tunes. He says, very few people had OU finishing 10-2 by running the table on the last 4 games. Thrilled with the season. Kudos to Mateer. Rough game, but he doesn't quit. Goldfish. Satania is a stud. D is elite.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree. You know, Mateer, it very well could have really unraveled on him out there, but he stayed in the fight and came up with the plays that you had to have late in order to do it. There's something to be said about that. And you know, I think that he knows that he didn't play well, and you know, you can sense that. You can feel the angst in the crowd. I mean, all of that I think is having an effect on the way that he's playing to some degree, but credit him for continuing to go out there and battle. But you got time to regroup, and you know, even for him, we didn't talk about this, you know, as you broke it down, but I thought there were several times he was much better at trusting the pocket, stepping up into the pocket, and delivering the ball. But then there are other times where he was inaccurate, where out of nowhere he got the fadeaway happy feet when there was no reason for it. You know, he needs to get back to trusting his technique and his footwork. And I still believe that the way he injured his hand throwing into a guy is still weighing on his mind. And that's why he's trying to get out of there, because he doesn't want to cram his hand into a helmet or something again and go through that whole situation again. But it's the game. I mean, it's the risk that you have to take to play the position and play it well.
I know I was pretty critical of a couple of the O-linemen in my breakdown. I did think overall the pass protection, once again, pretty dang good, man.
Especially in combination with the running back, stepping up in there, being physical, creating a nice pocket for Mateer to throw from.
And there are some clips in there of him standing in the pocket, feet set, delivering accurate throws, ball going where it should go, and you go, that's it. Just do that more. The problem is there are too many snaps where you watch him and you go, man, feet are all over the place. Upper body and feet just completely disjointed. Why is he throwing it there? You know, if he can reduce the number of those snaps and just be calm in the pocket. A term a lot of people use is caffeinated. There are some times where he is like tweaking out in the pocket.
Yeah.
Feet are everywhere, like bodies turn one way, feet are pointing the other, and you're just like, man, dude, calm down. But hey, we'll see if the necessary improvements can be made over this break before the college football playoff game.
Yep.
Hopefully, hey, it's free to be optimistic, right?
That's right.
I would I would love nothing more than for all these people that are whining about OU's offense and all this stuff, if this group could come out and put like 30 something on the board in a college football playoff game, that would bring me immense joy.
I totally agree. I and here's the thing, like if you just handle the things that you can handle and take advantage of, some matchups and trust one another and some guys do their job and everyone goes out and plays well together, it's not unreasonable to think that they can go out and have a good day on offense against someone.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I remain hopeful.
There you go.
You're in the dance. That's all you can ask for.
That's right.
Hey, weirder things have happened than OU's offense going out there and playing well in a playoff game, okay?
That's right.
All right, let's recap some of the biggest games from rivalry week in college football. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
And head to the garage for hand smash patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica's launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, time to recap the best games of week 14 in college football. Let's start in Austin. Longhorns got after the Aggies a little bit there, Ted. 27-17. Marcel Reed had the injury scare early. Did not look good. Goes down with the non-contact injury. Then you see it and you're like, okay, it looks like just an ankle, but came back in and did not make the type of plays he needed to make late to get a win on the road against a very solid Texas team. That's a nice win for Texas. And just like you said leading into it, you would believe in A&M if they're able to go and win this game against a really good team. My guess is you do not believe in A&M.
No. I think they're a good team. Like, what are we talking about here? We're talking about
them being able to go and win the national championship, right?
That's right. You're talking about the top 10 or 12 teams. Do I think they're a top 10 or 12 team? Yes, I think they're a top 10 or 12 team. However, that being said, what they have in like playmaking ability, explosive offense, and the ability to at any moment separate in a football game or catch up in a football game, they could do that. But when you face a disciplined, really good defense that can athletically match Marcel Reed scrambling around and just being able to gain the edge on you all the time, with the secondary that can ball hawk a little bit like Texas can, he's going to put the ball in harm's way. And if you can take advantage of that like Texas did in the second half, they become very beatable.
Marcel Reed made the big time mistakes in the second half, right? Hey, drive where it looks like they're going to tie the game. or they're going to make it. It would made it a one-score game. Like, hey, this thing may get interesting. Makes a horrible decision, throws it right to Taft, and
Mm-hmm.
you're going, what is he doing?
Yep.
Throws another one right to a sinking corner. Just throws it right to him. Like, what is he doing? And then meanwhile, Texas kind of found some run game in the second half. They found some rhythm. And then let's be real, man. Arch Manning made some big time plays.
And I've said this for a while now. Arch Manning, like there's something to be said for a guy that, you know, he didn't predict the season that he was going to have. He didn't put himself in a Heisman candidacy. All he's done is go out and play the best ball. And that dude has stood in the pocket and taken some unbelievable shots all season and keeps getting up, keeps getting to the next play. He's been good in the scramble game for them. At times, it's all they have. But whenever you look at him from the first third of the season, the first half of the season to where he is right now, I think that he has made a bunch of improvement.
Yeah. And some of his playmaking in the second half, like I felt like that was the difference in the game.
100%.
Like there's the one he's getting pressured in the pocket. He avoids it. He floats it to Injuries, who rips off a big play. Then he's got like the big touchdown run on the 3rd and 3 to extend it to a 10-point lead for him. Like Texas had the difference maker at quarterback in the second half, not A&M.
Yeah. One of the things I really like about Arch is we were just talking about Mateer and getting the happy feet in the pocket. Like at times we're just trying to get Mateer with good protection to get his good feet and deliver the ball. You'll see multiple times a game, Arch Manning will avoid a guy in the pocket, like totally get around him and then get his feet back and deliver a ball, right? He's got some, despite the assault that he's been under throughout the whole season because of that O-line for Texas, he is technique and fundamental focused, and you can see that with him, and it helps him out a lot.
Texas A&M's undefeated season dies in Austin, and so does any chance of Marcel Reed in the Heisman Trophy. That has to feel very good for Texas and their fan base. It's gotta feel nice. I don't know if they're going to end up making the playoff, backdooring their way in at 9-3. Seems like a long shot at this point, but that's a good team, man.
Yeah,
it's a good team. I know this. I would much rather watch Texas in the playoff than Tulane. I know that. Right. And that's coming from an OU guy. You know what I mean? Like that's a good team that I think, depending on matchup, that could easily win a first round game. But I just don't know if they're going to get, I don't know if they got the help that they needed. They really needed us to lose is what they needed.
Yep.
I don't know if they got the help that they needed to backdoor their way into this thing. But Sarkisian certainly started politicking right away. And credit to that guy. Like, you have to, man. That's what you got to do.
You do. And, I was picking Texas to win that game, and I said, get ready for the full court press from everyone from Texas and everyone in the national media to start talking about Texas deserves to be in. Listen, hey, you scheduled Ohio State. You lost the football game. You can't go back and say, like, there's no point in scheduling that game. It was your decision to schedule it. And here's the other thing. Ohio State scheduled it also, and they won the game. You were the number one team in the country. You had opportunities in that football game to go win the thing. Like, don't start like throwing that at everyone when it's something of your own doing. Nobody forced you into that, okay? So stop trying to use it as a weapon against everyone else. That's the one thing that annoys me.
That's fair.
Well, I guess it's not the one thing. It's one of the things that annoys
Well,
me.
one of many things that annoy you
Yeah.
about this sport currently. I last thing on this game, I thought Texas's defense did a really nice job of preventing Concepcion and Craver from having like the big game changing play.
Yep.
They did not give up the huge explosives. And if you make A&M and Marcel Reed like play boring football and be super efficient and execute down after down after down, like that's I don't think that's
Yep.
what they're great at.
No.
So
Totally agree.
I thought it was nice execution of a solid plan from a good defense that the Longhorns have.
No, I agree. And like it's interesting, but you look at it and it's pretty crazy, isn't it, that A&M's only conference wins were all the bottom half of the conference. And the only game they even played in the top half of the conference was Texas, and they lost. Um, scheduling is scheduling, though. Some of those things you can control, some of them you can't. They picked a tough game and they went on the road and played was it on the road or was it neutral side? It was on the road against Notre Dame, right? That was in South Bend.
A&M, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they scheduled the team that made the college football semifinal a year ago, and they went and won the football game. And guess what? Since they won it, they're firmly in the college football playoff, right? So if you schedule it, go win the thing.
It's good. It's good advice, Ted. It's good advice. Moving on to the game. Just beautiful. Snow. Ohio State, Michigan, and some snow. Just very aesthetically pleasing. Ohio State there's not much analysis needed. Just much better team than Michigan right now.
Yeah, it felt like Michigan was, finding a way early to stay in it and to hang around, but the fourth down touchdown on the deep ball felt like it was like the separation and the thing that finally broke it open to where Michigan they weren't going to be able to reel them in a game where they got like a little bit of separation. They're not set up for that type of football.
Nice double move from Jeremiah Smith. Beautiful ball from Sand. I know some people are like, oh, he was bobbling it as he went through the end. It's a touchdown, man. I am of the belief the ball can be moving and you have control of the ball.
Yeah.
Like I thought that the way that the broadcast reacted to that, they were like, this could be a touchback. I was like, what? It's a touchdown, man. Let's move on.
I will say that I don't even know how in the rules if you can clarify that, or is it just something that you got to make a judgment on? Because like per letter of the law, he doesn't have like the ball's kind of in the air. He doesn't have control of it. And and the foot goes down after he does. But to me, it's one thing a guy's reaching for the pylon and drops it, right? Like it's just a different situation, I guess. And I don't know how exactly you can, because I'm with you. He scored a touchdown. He earned it. Like it, there's things that when you see them. And even though that like there may be a technicality in there, like it when you see it. And that's just kind of how I feel about that. And I don't know how you can necessarily put that in writing, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, like that looks like a touchdown. It's a touchdown.
Right.
I
Which is how the apparently the review officials handled it.
I I will say the way that this thing started, it was one of those where Michigan got off to
Right.
such a good start. You're like,
Here we
oh my
go.
gosh.
Here we go.
Like Jordan Marshall rips off the big run. Now they settle for the field goal. Sand throws the interception. I thought that goal line stand after that. Uh, I think that Michigan kind of, it felt like they missed their window.
Yeah.
It felt like they missed their window of, hey, let's make this really uncomfortable. If they're up 10-0, if they're up 14-0, then that Ohio State sideline is starting to get real uncomfortable. But to Ohio State's credit, like their ability to hold them to field goals in those situations, I thought that was huge. Now, Michigan, how many plays did they stop Ohio State on, like inside the 3 yard line? It felt like they were playing inside the 3 yard. It felt like that lasted like 30 minutes.
I know.
And maybe it was because Barham headbutted that referee and didn't get tossed. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But there were some really positive things from Michigan early in this game, but then Ohio State just kind of walked away from them.
They're just a better football team.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball. They, I mean, say what you want. They're the number one team in the country. I don't know who wins the game between them and Indiana, but for what I've seen this year, and I hadn't seen a whole lot of Ohio State, credit for them for having like one of the easiest schedules that you could ever devise for a defending national champion, but they marched their way through it. And the couple of tests that they had, they look good. And, talent wise, coaching wise, game plan, they don't have weaknesses.
That defense is legit.
Really good.
And I know Michigan was banged up at the running back spot, and I would have loved to seen like Haynes be able to play in that game, Marshall not be banged up the way that he was, but Michigan had 163 yards of offense.
Yep. And, they had the easy schedule, and they totally dominated that easy schedule. And what that does is they don't have a lot of players that have a ton of wear and tear on them. You hang around against inferior opponents and play a bunch of 4-quarter football games, your guys get a lot of wear and tear, and they've been able to avoid that.
Ohio State, fresh as a daisy.
Fresh as a daisy.
Lot of talented dudes that are fresh for that football team.
Haven't been tested in the fourth quarter since Texas.
Very much looking forward to the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah,
championship games kind of feel like an inconvenience for the best teams in the country now, but that's one where I'm like, okay, I can't wait to watch it.
I feel like we're all sitting back and just kind of laughing that you've got to go play an extra game. It's like, as a little league dad in baseball, it's like, we've been here for 2 days and it's 100 degrees outside. Do you really want to make that championship game and play another game at 7:00 on Sunday night? Or do you want to just take your participation trophy and head to the house?
What a comparison. I don't think you're the only one that feels that way. And because it feels that way with the SEC championship game as well for Georgia and Bama now, where it almost feels like a punishment, which how long can these last if it feels like a punishment that you have to go play in your conference championship game? I don't know. It feels it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? It feels off.
That was floated around of the two teams that are first and second are in the playoff, and third place plays sixth place, and fourth place plays fifth place for playing games. Feels like the most fair kind of proposal that I've seen, right? Like, you've earned your way to go play another brutal 4-quarter game while everyone else is sitting at home. Like, that's really where your bye week should be, not down the road, but whatever.
Well, and the SEC, that's the one in particular where, hey, we already watched these two teams play. One team went and beat them in their house, and now they're playing again, and you're sitting there going, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with conference championship games. I know there's a lot of money made from televising them. I get that, but it how long can it last where it feels like you're at a disadvantage overall if you have to go play a conference championship game?
Yeah.
If you're already in the playoff. I don't know if there's a perfect system to make it not feel that way, but that's just how it feels to me. Like, I am ecstatic that OU doesn't have to go play in an SEC championship game right now, especially
Like,
when you consider some of the injuries we got going on.
physically, we're hanging on by a thread, right?
Yeah.
So I'm 100% with you. It is interesting though that it feels like it's the most competitive the SEC has ever been, and it's still Alabama and Georgia playing in the championship game.
Shocker. Now it's Alabama, Georgia in the championship game because Texas was able to beat A&M.
That's right.
And Alabama went to Auburn and won the Iron Bowl. And my goodness, was the Iron Bowling, baby. How much fun was that to watch? Tide win at 27-20, and it got real tight at the end.
Call it my inexperience, whatever you want to say, but I was like, I think everyone's crazy. I think Alabama's going to go smoke them. And what was it, 17-0 at one point? And I'm like, what are we doing here? Come on, this thing's over. And I kind of lost a little bit of interest. And then I came back around the TV and I was like, oh, okay. We got us a football game here. And did we ever? That second half was great.
You didn't expect the Malcolm Simmons show, did you, buddy?
I did not.
Hey, let me throw you a couple short ones, and he's gone. That was there were some just ridiculously dramatic situations in this game that were fantastic. One of my big takeaways from the game is, how was Ashton Daniels not starting for Auburn all year? That guy, I mean, you look at the box score, it may not wow you, but that dude was doing all kinds of things for that offense. The interception hits a dude right in the hands and goes right up in the air to Hubbard, which that guy is he is a turnover machine. It's insane. But if you're an Auburn fan, you're sitting there going, why has this guy not been playing quarterback for us all season long? Their season could look very different if you just play that dude at quarterback. And maybe that's just that's the value of hindsight, right? But
I don't know.
He looked awfully good, dude.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your 7 losses are 1-score games. And
that's what I'm saying.
One of them in there was the Georgia game where it was 20-10, and I feel like Georgia scored a late touchdown in that one. Yeah, it was 13-10 in the fourth quarter. So it feels like, do you win all of those? No. Do you win some of them? Maybe. That's probably why you have a new football coach.
Yeah. And I do want to give Bama some credit because, right, Simmons catches like a 5-yard hitch, takes it 60-plus yards inside the 5. Jeremiah Cobb punches it in. That place is going nuts. It's 20-20. Backs against the wall. Bama's offense. What do? 15 plays, 75 yards, nearly 8 minutes off the clock. I mean, when they went for it on the 4th and 2, I was going, well, DeBoer ain't scared. That's for sure.
Yep.
Simpson finds Horton in the end zone for the touchdown to make it 27-20. I loved that. They cut to DeBoer, and he let out the biggest sigh of relief you've ever seen from a coach on the sideline. It was, but that drive, that decision, and then the execution on that 4th down play, like that, it doesn't get much better than that, man. Like that's an offense going, all right, we got it. Here we go. And going and winning in a game. That was really impressive.
It's crazy because it's like, if you don't get that touchdown, it's like, this is the dumbest mother bleeper of all time. What are we doing? You got the lead. You just kicked a field goal, get the lead. right? What are we doing? But you get it and you end up winning the game. It's like the massive difference between those two outcomes on one play is like it's the world.
And I get it. You go for it, you don't get it. They're really backed up. You're thinking you're going to get a stop, you're going to get the ball back.
No
We'll
doubt.
do it again. Like that. That's the analytics thought process, right?
The situation favors you for sure, but that's not
But
always how it's viewed on the outside.
But if you're bored, like the playoffs on the line, the
No
SEC
doubt.
championship games on the line, like there was a lot on the line. Like that was a very critical decision. That decision, like scoring the touchdown, there's the difference between the Bama fans loving you and being like, we need to fire him.
Yeah.
Like that's I
Get
hope he
this
leaves
idiot
for
out
Penn
of here.
State.
Right.
Like that's how big it was. And then Cam Coleman fumbles. Auburn loses in heartbreaking fashion, which I was kind of upset with that whole thing because I feel like we got robbed of like
Yeah.
them throwing it in the end zone on the last play of the game. I really wanted to experience that and we didn't get it, Ted. It was kind of sad.
I know. It felt like it was building to that moment, but still a great game, great atmosphere, which, by the way, didn't say this about Texas. That's really the first time I've seen Texas not look like a mixer at a country club or something. That looked like a big time environment.
We've never been to DKR. I don't know if we'll ever be there for a game, but seemed loud from the couch.
Did.
Well done, Texas. One last thing about the Iron Bowl. Auburn outgained Bama 411 to 280.
Hmm.
Bama won the football game.
How can you do
Lucky
that?
stole the game,
Stole it.
stole it. Right? That's how it works,
But,
right?
they did get outgained, so maybe they should get jumped in the playoff. Yeah. It happens. It's football. It's a crazy sport.
Weird. Weird. Congrats to new Auburn head coach Alex Golesh.
Mm.
We'll hit that in winners and losers. I believe we're going to talk a little carousel action.
Yep. There's a lot to cover.
But first, wind, hail, tornadoes, and earthquakes are now year-round threats. And at the same time, homeowners insurance rates in Oklahoma are the highest in the entire country. Unfortunately, some insurance companies use deceptive and bad faith claim handling practices to deny or lower what little they pay out. Fortunately, one of the leading insurance bad faith attorneys in the country is a longtime Sooner and resides here in Oklahoma, Jeff Marr. The Marr Law Firm has represented more victims of tornado, storm, and earthquake damage than anyone in the Sooner State, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. There's only one law firm to handle insurance companies, Marr Law Firm. And three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise, it's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
Bishop McGinnis Catholic High School represents a tradition of educational excellence in Oklahoma City. Grounded in a faith-based education, Bishop McGinnis offers a college prep curriculum that includes 26 AP courses, participation in OSSAA athletics, and numerous clubs and organizations for students to join and grow. If you want to provide the best possible educational and spiritual development for your children, contact Bishop McGinnis Catholic High School or visit bmchs.org. Financial aid is available.
As always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Yeah, well, we've got the coaching carousel as winner. There's some winners and there's some losers, for sure. We'll get to the Kiffin stuff. You mentioned Golesh at Auburn, coming from South Florida, has done a really good job there. It feels like a good, solid fit. We'll see. Auburn is the one thing I've found since I've started covering the sport is there's a very familiar cycle with Auburn and their football coaching staff. Quick firing by a lot of people's view, uh, jubilation with the new coach, and then a very short leash. It's like you feel like you go from celebrating the hire to hot seat very, very quickly at Auburn. And we'll see. We know that his first job is going to be to keep that roster intact and keep their big players. They've got a bunch of really good players there, recruiting, transfer portal stuff. They've done a good job. They just haven't been able to capitalize. And he's got to figure the quarterback situation out there. It feels like almost my entire knowledge goes with Auburn having a bunch of NFL players, but not having the right quarterback. It's like they've been searching for the right quarterback all but for a handful of seasons over the last 15 years or 20 years. So quarterback's going to be critical. He's going to have some decisions to make there.
I believe Byron Brown is a senior, his quarterback at USF. I don't think he has another year. That would make it very easy if he did, but it's going to be, that guy's been extremely productive in that offense that they're running. So no
doubt.
But they've hit the reset button at Auburn. Are they going to hold on to Durkin as the DC? Like there's a lot of answers, or a lot of questions that need to be answered there at Auburn, and we'll see how it shakes out. But there's just no doubt there's a lot of talent on that current roster, but there's going to be a lot of people interested in that talent on that current roster.
No doubt.
So we'll see.
No doubt. And every time, I'm sure there's players that are going to be excited about the hire and what it maybe means for their future there, but there's going to be just as many guys that are going to be having conversations. Like it's going to be very difficult to keep everyone, because everyone in college football is going to be diving into your roster. So that's just how it goes. Florida gets Sumrall from Tulane, another a hire that looks really solid, but man, you just don't know. It's the same thing with Golesh and a lot of these hires. When you pluck from outside of the Power Four, there's some unknown there, right? How well can you recruit? How well can you manage the NIL and transfer portal situation? At the smaller schools, it's fairly simple, right? You allocate a lot of money to your handful of really good players. You try and keep them around as long as you can. Recruiting, you go and find the low-hanging fruit where you can, and try and develop guys. It's a different animal, man. It's a step up to the big leagues in managing your roster. And that's, to me, is the biggest question with a lot of these guys is like, how can you manage that part of it? Because in the other leagues, it's football. It's coaching football. It's X's and O's. It's trying to find our best players and point our offense and defense in the direction of those guys. It's all encompassing at the next level of going out and finding guys, keeping your guys. What is your salary cap looking like? How you divvying up the money? I mean, it's a totally different animal.
I think the vast majority of people that you'll talk to are big Jon Sumrall fans.
Yeah.
The way he goes about his business, like his attitude, the demeanor, like all that stuff. He's done a really nice job at Tulane, but when's the last time Florida's been good? It's
kind
been
of
a
the
while.
Same type of hire they've had,
it doesn't feel all that different than Billy Napier.
That's right.
Other than I do think those two guys have a very different demeanor, or at least, and I don't know either of them, but like just my perception of them. Sumrall seems a little more gritty, a little rough around the edges.
The guy. Napier just kind of looks
intense.
Like he's been walking on eggshells around there for a long time.
Yeah,
been on the hot seat since he got there, basically.
Yeah, so we'll see, but if Florida fans are really excited about hiring Jon Sumrall, I don't blame them. I could also see some Florida fans being like, okay,
kind of
You know,
like a retread of what we did last time.
yeah, but it's free to be optimistic, baby.
There you go.
Got to believe if you're a Gator.
And it's kind of the same thing at Arkansas. Arkansas gets Silverfield from Memphis, another really good coach, highly thought of, but like Arkansas's a unique job. Can you get I don't have any doubt that he's a good football coach. There's a bunch of good football coaches out there. But can you get the roster to compete? Can you manage your roster to go compete with the big boys? That's going to be the big challenge.
He was on the staff in Detroit when I was there. He's great. He's fantastic. He's funny. He's fun to talk to. Like, his biggest challenge will be to get the big money Arkansas people to back him.
Yeah.
Like, that's the key for him. Like, you got to get those people in the boat and then assemble the roster. And really, the only way you're going to assemble a great roster at Arkansas is money. It's just the truth. So there's no doubt in my mind. Like, Ryan can coach ball. He's a smart football guy. He's fun to be around. Like, I imagine his players at Memphis loved playing for him. I'm sure he'll bring quite a few of those guys, like the best ones he can bring with him. But yeah, in order to compete in the SEC, it's not a secret, man. You got to assemble the roster, or else you're not going to have a chance.
No doubt. You got Franklin at Virginia Tech. I mean, people have hit on that. We know that. But I think the best hire that I've seen so far is Eric Morris from North Texas to Oklahoma State. I love that hire for Oklahoma State. I think they hit it out of the park.
Did you see how old Eric Morris is?
Ain't that old.
He's a man. He's 40.
Perfect.
How about that? Yeah, how about that?
And the best part about it is he's got him a freshman quarterback down there in North Texas that can absolutely spin it with a crazy story. Never started a high school game and walked on to North Texas. Crazy.
There is one issue with that, though.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State ain't going to be the highest bidder for that guy. They're going to have to, that is going to be a battle.
Not the highest bidder, but I mean, when you got the kids, like I said, never started a game in high school. The guy that gave him his shot, and I think that they got to be able to get close, don't you think? Maybe not. I guess you never know.
Well, that's the thing, is like, Messmaker's on everyone's radar.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Oklahoma State's leadership, you're hoping, like, yeah, that relationship, it's kind of similar to the Mateer situation. OU wasn't the highest bidder for Mateer.
That's right.
You're hoping that bond is so strong that he'll take a little less to come play for you. But if you're Messmaker, you're looking at the Oklahoma State roster going, who am I going to throw to, dude?
Yeah.
Like I hope Oklahoma State's able to get him. I am still of the belief that it's not good for the state of Oklahoma for Oklahoma State to be the laughing stock of the Power Four. But there's gonna be a lot of people after that young man, and that's gonna be a tough battle for them to win. In my opinion,
I think they made a really good hire, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be difficult for Oklahoma State. Like they are going to have to make up a bunch of ground to get even on level footing in the Big 12.
Their roster is bad. There's no other way to say it, man. Like, it is. There's not much talent on that roster. Like, I think it's a great hire. I'm with you, but he's got his work cut out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's got to get the big money people at Oklahoma State behind him. And I think there's a lot of excitement about the hire. Like, I think he'll be able to do that, but they got to make big moves, and they got to make them quick.
Yep.
Because that roster is in bad shape, man.
Gonna have to hit the ground running for sure. Which brings us to Louisiana State and Lane Kiffin. Everything says he's going to LSU, and I I guess you have to take what you're seeing out there reported,
He's going to LSU.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's done.
Okay.
If Ross Dellinger's saying it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I view it. Like he's going to LSU.
And it sounds like the real only hangup was he wanted to continue coaching at Ole Miss for the playoff run. And as far as the last thing I've seen, Ole Miss is standing firm and saying, no.
Here's from Pete Thamel. Also, many people reporting it. This came down after we stopped recording or started recording. So here we go. He is leaving for LSU and he will not finish the season with Ole Miss.
And
which Ole Miss had no choice.
No.
The people out there going, oh, they should let him finish what he started. Shut up. He's leaving. Who cares?
That you totally are missing everything. He's going to a rival in your conference and actively trying to take your coaching staff and trying to take your roster. Like, you're not going to allow him to continue to coach those guys and recruit them to go to LSU and go on some big like celebrity tour about how great he's going to be at LSU while he's standing on your sideline. You just 100% cannot do that. Hell no.
No. Now, I assume a lot of LSU people are very excited. He's a good coach. And now, he's a good coach that hasn't won anything of significance.
No.
But I think you and I both agree he's very good
and
offensively.
He's leaving right at the time he has a chance to go win something.
Which is interesting.
It's ridiculous. Lane Kiffin there's earmuffs, whatever. I'm sorry to say this. There's no other way to say it. He is a total douchebag.
I don't think that's a bad word.
Okay, I don't.
This is a family program. We all know that, but I don't think out of what all the things I thought you were about to say, that is like the best thing you could have said, and I think everyone already acknowledges that. I think you're right on point. Yeah.
Oh, I'm toning it down a lot.
There you go.
I do not. I've never liked Lane Kiffin. All he's ever done is continue to prove to me why I shouldn't like him. I cannot even imagine why a coach. He has a legitimate chance to go win a national championship at Ole Miss this year, right? Would you agree with that? I mean, they're not going to be the favorite, but I mean, I feel like everyone in the Ohio State, I would favor, but outside of that, I feel like they're on level footing with pretty much anyone.
I think Trinidad Chambliss is playing just about as good as anyone in the country at the quarterback position, and Keywan Lacey may be the best running back in college football.
There you go.
They can play with anyone. And their defense has kind of found its footing a little bit. Like, I think that's a group that they're not they don't have some glaring weakness of a defense.
No.
So I definitely think it's a team that can win a game, 2 games, maybe 3 games. But their coach just bailed.
It's all he's ever done. All he's ever done is float by on his name. He's a good coach, but you get a ton of baggage with him. You get a ton of arrogance with him. It's the same thing everywhere he's ever gone. And he finally rebuilds his image at Ole Miss to act like he's some changed guy and like the yoga has him centered, but he's the same guy. He will bail on anything at any moment for notoriety, for money, for whatever it is, to avoid the criticism of not making any noise in the playoff with his current team. I don't know what it is, but he's the same guy. And he's gone. He's yet again made himself the villain for no damn reason. Again, so LSU is paying 12 or 13 million dollars for a guy that literally everyone in the sport hates now. It hated not very long ago, forgot that they hated him and liked his dog and liked his Twitter account, but are like, oh, yeah, what was I thinking? It's the same guy. I can't stand him. And he's back at LSU, which, has often been a hateable place. So maybe the fit works.
It is going to be very, very, very interesting to see how it goes because Ole Miss put up with all of his stuff. Let him do whatever he wanted. If he wanted to go hop on the boat, go fishing, kind of disappear in the offseason, he did it.
Mm-hmm.
LSU's a completely different animal, man.
And not only did they put up with it, they came together and put together one of the best collectives and went out and got all of these players and just poured money behind him. And they turned it like it's one of the best programs out there right now. And he's going to leave while they're in the hunt. If I was in that locker room, I would be so freaking pissed off. I don't even know how I'd handle it.
Well,
if I was a coach there, if I was a fan there, if I was on the administration, if I was someone that worked on the fields, someone that cleaned the locker rooms, I would be so pissed off.
Well, according to Lane Kiffin, Keith Carter, the athletic director, is not letting him coach in the playoff, despite the players wanting him to. Which, if that's the case, those players need to have a tough conversation with themselves. If they're like, "Oh, no, coach, we know you're leaving," but I guess it's a little different because those guys can just leave.
Their perspective is different, though. Like
they know he's a good play caller and they want to win a championship. Probably where their head's at.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt, and he's your coach. Like you came there, you played for him, and even though he's a massive douchebag, when you're in the battle with people, like you get camaraderie, and this is who we are, and this like we want to go win a championship, but you got to see the bigger picture. He's leaving you. The administration isn't keeping him from coaching. He is leaving you. It's not the other way around.
Also, I guess if you're LSU, the publicity would be good if he coached in the playoff, but I can't imagine many LSU people want their coach not fully focused on LSU right away if you're paying him $12 million a year. It's like, no, man, no.
You don't want Ole Miss to win.
Yeah, you're done there, buddy. Yeah, come on over. Like, come on. Yeah,
absolutely.
No, you're done with that.
Absolutely. Don't spend your time with them at all. Come over here and start trying to bring all the roster with you to LSU. It sucks. This guy that has been on this multi-year crusade about all the things that are wrong with college football, as soon as he gets an opportunity to be the leader of the cause of what's wrong with college football, he takes it. POS. No other way around it.
Ole Miss now open. That's an attractive job, man. Like if the people there are going to support the new coach the way that they did Kiffin, like that's a very attractive job.
They're in a brutal spot, man.
Yeah.
What do you think his staff does?
I think a bunch of them are going to get on that plane with him.
You think so?
Those guys are being put in a horrible spot. But now the reporting is he said, hey, if you get on the plane, you got a spot. If you don't, you don't. That's coaches value security over everything else.
I know.
And he's getting a 7-year deal at LSU? What you're just going to say, hey, no, let's finish this out with our guys. Now, my wife, kids, we'll figure it out. We'll see who the next guy is. We'll figure it out.
That's why
Those
Ole
guys are
Miss
being
is
put in a horrible spot.
that's why Ole Miss and the administration is being put in a tough spot too, because like if you want those guys to stay and coach your team in the playoff, you're going to have to make some guarantees down the road for them.
I guess Joe Judge, according to some of the reporting that I saw, like Joe Judge is staying on the staff. Guy's been an NFL head coach. Like he can manage all of that, but all those guys are going to have to make very, very difficult decisions.
I know. And like I, but that's the thing. I mean, that's like the domino effect. He doesn't give a damn about any of that. Doesn't care about any of it. He'll go to LSU over a couple $1,000,000 a year, right? And I don't know what Ole Miss was willing to pay to keep him, but I have to imagine it was a lot, right? Like the difference financially for a guy that's been a head coach since he was 30 years old, 25 years basically, made a ton of money. Like, really, you're going to just ditch a chance to go win a championship for a couple $1,000,000 a year difference? POS. Douchebag.
I guess Golding's going to be the head coach for him. Their defense coordinator.
And they're stuck. Like, not only like they're going to have to hire him long term. They don't have a choice. If you don't hire him long term, you're going to lose your entire damn roster. You're going to lose your entire staff and have to just totally reset everything in the middle of having a chance to go win a national championship.
I Can I tell you, OU football is really all that matters to me in college football. Just going to be real. And the bottom line for me is Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss and going to LSU feels good for OU football.
100% agree.
Because LSU, like, with the talent that they're able to get, if they've got a competent head coach, like, a guy, not a guy like Brian Kelly that apparently everyone just hated in that building, like, they're going to be good. It's now, and when they're at their best, whoa, buddy, watch out.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's really the only one that's been able to make them good. So now, would I rather Ole Miss and LSU be really good, or just LSU be good and Ole Miss kind of go back to
we don't
middle
play
of the
LSU
pack,
every year, right? We play Ole Miss every year.
And it seems like whoever's next is going to be hard to. And it sounds like Pete Golding. I assume he's going to be their head coach next season. And maybe that's been reported. Remember, this broke as we were in the middle of recording, people. So we haven't read up on a bunch of it. But that is, I don't know. It feels like Kiffin leaving for LSU is the best thing for OU football.
I agree.
So I'm over here going,
I think it's great because Ole Miss is, and I think Golding, from what I know about him, people love him, good coach, seems like a good recruiter, but it's going to be like the breakup of the damn Soviet Union where you got, everyone's selling off nuclear weapons and military equipment, and there's like this mad scramble to get what you can and get out. I feel like that's what's going to happen to Ole Miss's roster. Maybe they keep the vast majority of their guys. I have no idea, but it's going to be incredibly difficult, and they're going to have to pay a lot of money. And Kiffin, I feel like, is going to go to LSU, and maybe it's built in, and maybe nobody cares, but he's a villain again.
no doubt.
He wasn't the villain at Ole Miss. He was the fun guy that everyone wanted to go play for. Now he's the guy that once again will leave you high and dry for himself.
With that in mind, like, a lot of people think LSU is the best job in the country. Like there's no, it doesn't feel like there's any next step for him now. Maybe if Bama becomes open, maybe that becomes a conversation. But I think if he's going to leave LSU, it's like an NFL job. So I don't know. But
That's what I'm saying. Is like there's always the next step. You
that's
may
true.
not see it. There's
That's
always,
true.
especially for that freaking guy.
Yeah.
Whether he's running from something or running to something, there's always the next step.
Fair point. All the coaching carousel stuff you got?
I think so.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, this fall, Poncho's got you covered with classics like denim and flannels to new styles like the Western polo and tough thread. Comfortable, durable, and versatile for whatever the season brings. Poncho's denim shirt is great. It's my new go-to denim shirt. Going to be a fall fashion staple for me. I love this thing. And Poncho's flannels are the perfect medium weight, and they have a nice stretch to them. You can never have too many great flannels. You guys know how that goes. Poncho listened to their customers, and they have launched the Western Polo. This thing is a versatile shirt. Go get you one. You'll wear it a ton. And Poncho offers free shipping and free returns because they want you in a shirt that you love. Gear up for fall with Poncho. Every piece is built for comfort, performance, and lasting style. Go to ponchooutdoors.com/OKBreakdown and enter your email for $10 off your first order. That's PONCHO outdoors.com/OKBreakdown for $10 off and free shipping. And when they ask you how you heard about them, let them know the Oklahoma Breakdown sent you. It really helps support the show. And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. All right, for my winner of the weekend, give me the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Impressive.
We were wrong about that one, Ted.
Yep.
They went to Neyland and smacked Tennessee 45-24. And the most impressive part of it was this was a 31-24 game with 12 and a half minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Vandy just dominated Tennessee when it mattered most. That was really impressive. And as a result, Vandy has won 10 games for the first time in school history.
Wild. That's crazy.
Is there a player in college football that's more entertaining than Diego Pavia?
No, probably not.
I mean, he had 165 on the ground in this game, 268 in the air. Now, he did have the interceptions in the first half, but that's part of the entertainment value with him. He's going to do some things with the ball, take some chances.
Yep.
But I'm not sure I've seen a better thing this year in college football than the group celebration he had with the Heisman post with this offensive line. That was awesome. And in all seriousness, man, someone tell me why he shouldn't be a Heisman finalist. The guy he has changed that program. They're 10-2. Their only losses are to Bama and Texas on the road. Like they're right in the middle of the playoff conversation. He's been awesome. Yeah, the guy should absolutely be a Heisman finalist, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. 3,200 yards on 71% completions, 27 passing touchdowns to the 8 interceptions, and what he brings in the rushing game, crazy too. Close to, 826 yards rushing, 9 more touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty good stuff, man.
They're 10-2.
10-2.
And an emphatic 10-2, like a statement game to get that 10th win. Went into the flagship's house and smacked him around in the fourth quarter. Does Vandy rule the state of Tennessee?
Well, they do this year, that's for sure.
I mean, they got Clark Lee to sign the extension. Rumor has it they're stealing Georgia's 5-star quarterback, Jared Curtis. they're getting some other big time commitments. Like Vandy's starting to figure some things out now, brother. Nashville, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of people want to live there, go to
Yeah.
school there. I
And
just
it's a very prestigious school that has some big money that's just never been tapped into, right? And now you got everyone on board.
I yeah, I'm impressed. I would love to see them get a chance in the college football playoff. It seems like it's going to be difficult for them to find a spot, but just like I said about Texas, I would much rather watch Vanderbilt in the playoff than any group of five team.
Easily.
Pavia, Cedric Alexander's, I think, one of the most underrated players in the country. That dude can do it all for them at the running back spot. And he had some massive plays in their win over Tennessee. But you go 10-2 in the SEC and you think you got a great chance to make the CFP. I just don't know if it didn't seem like the chaos that needed to happen for them happened.
Yep.
Once again, they needed us to lose.
They needed us to lose.
And we did not.
We did not. And I know a lot of people are going to be really making their case, but the real difference is, we lost to Texas. They also did. Now, it wasn't neutral site. We beat Bama and they lost to them. And they played a bad non-conference schedule. And, it just kind of, to me, is the difference. They're a damn good football team that's going to be like on the outside looking in. And it feels like the playoff would definitely be better if Vanderbilt was in it.
I'm with you. But no matter what, tremendous season for Vanderbilt. I would anticipate Pavia being a Heisman finalist, which is another really impressive accomplishment for that program. You've got Clark Lee locked up for the foreseeable future. He's not going anywhere. The vibes are high at Vandy, dude.
Yeah. I think next year could be a struggle for them. They've got like 50 seniors on their team or something crazy like that. So they're going to have a lot of turnover, but like you said, vibes are good. Everyone believes in the coaching staff, and you would imagine some money's going to start pouring in. The program is going to be viewed differently by, any type of big players in the transfer portal. They got things going in a good direction.
Congratulations, Vandy. Well
Impressive.
Done. Impressive. Really impressive. Not a great end to the year for Tennessee. Would have felt very different finishing 9-3.
Yeah.
You're feeling good about things. 8-4 with the last loss being in Neyland to Vandy, the way that thing ended. Not the
24-3 in the second half.
Yeah. Not the vibes you're looking for heading into the offseason if you're Josh Heupel, that group.
No, I will say though, and no one in Tennessee is going to care, and I understand that. But if I don't know that anyone ever would have been happy losing to Vandy, but you go back to how the spring kind of started for them and all that stuff. I mean, gosh, if they didn't get what they got from Aguilar, this year could have been really bad.
Can I say something that may make Tennessee fans sad?
Yeah.
If you just pay Nico the money, maybe you're 10-2,
Yeah.
Maybe you're 11-1. I don't know. There's no way to know. I'm just saying. It's just a little devil's
that question is going to be asked like, tee up, just why don't you fire that into the Tennessee Twitter world and see how they stir it up a little bit.
There's no doubt that conversation is taking place all over the place with Tennessee fans today. All right, let's get to my loser of the week. My loser of the weekend, the Atlantic Coast Conference. Chaos. Disastrous. Miami destroys Pitt. They're clearly the best team in the conference right now. They win 38-7. Look good. They're not playing for the ACC championship.
No.
They're not, Ted, because Virginia handles business against Virginia Tech. They beat them 27-7. Okay, Virginia's in. Got it. Deserve it. Well done. Great season for Virginia. They've been really good when Chandler Morris has been healthy. Good football team. Virginia's in. But Duke beats Wake Forest 49-32. And then the Cal Bears knock SMU off 38-35, which means 7-5 Duke will play in the ACC Championship Game, which means the possibility of the ACC not getting a team in remains. Because reminder, it is the top 5 highest ranked conference champions. If Duke wins the ACC championship game, they will be ranked behind Tulane and they will be ranked behind James Madison. Which means the ACC has left all of us exposed to the possibility of 2 group of 5 teams getting in the playoff. What the hell, ACC? Come on, guys. Come on, man. Now, I am anticipating Virginia taking care of business in that ACC championship game. Virginia winning. They'll be in the playoff as the ACC champ. Everyone will go, okay, the absolute disaster has been avoided. But anytime it's just one game, Ted, there got to be a lot of ACC people that are nervous.
Hey, I would just say if there's ever a time to wager on a football game, it's Virginia. And I don't know, maybe people see this differently. How much money will it cost the ACC if Duke wins the game?
A lot.
A lot.
I see what you're saying. I say you're suggesting that the scale could be weighted a tad.
I am confident the scale will be weighted.
Interesting.
Maybe by even if Duke wins the football game, it's going to cost them money.
Yes. Correct.
You know, it's a strange situation where I don't know. Like maybe I'm wrong and this sport is totally all on the up and up and there's no shenanigans that could ever happen. The way I see some officiating out there makes me really question that. But Duke is in a bad position. Win and everyone hates you. Maybe even the money pushers at your own school.
JMU, big Duke fans. Big Duke fans right now. That's about it, though. I will say this was pretty interesting from Chris Vanini. Among the top 6 teams in the ACC, 5 had a win against another from the group, except for Duke, which went 0-2 against that group, but will play for the ACC championship. I saw multiple people suggest that the ACC should just change the rules and let Miami in the game instead of Duke.
I saw that.
And I think those people were being serious.
Yeah. It's kind of like remember when the Big 12 was like constant, like trying to figure out exactly what their tiebreaker rules were going to be as the season was unfolding right up to the last game?
Yeah.
That ACC should have left a little bit of wiggle room in there.
They're just going to issue an addendum.
That's right.
Actually, Miami will be playing in the game against Virginia.
You might be able to get everyone in the conference to vote on it and agree.
But hey, congrats to Cal, man. Those guys, Stanford put it on them a week ago. Coach got fired. To be able to knock off SMU like that's a pretty impressive bounce back from that group. And you got to know those players are just psyched that they've created the most chaotic scenario possible. That's fantastic if you're a Cal Bear.
And it was in a crazy football game.
Oh,
Just psychotic.
it was great.
SMU misses the field goal late. Oh my gosh. Crazy.
I the second that guy lined up for it, I was like, he's pushing it right. There's no way he makes this. Guy looked like he was gonna throw up inside his helmet. The ACC chaos. We'll see what happens. If Duke wins that game,
I hope they do.
if Duke wins the game, okay. I think there's a debate, and there's a very valid debate for like these last couple spots this year. Like Vandy feels very deserving. Argument can be made for Texas. You look at Miami.
Miami.
Like there's some valid arguments to be made for these teams, especially getting in over a group of 5 team. But I feel like the number one way the college football playoff format changes right away is if Duke wins the ACC championship game.
I was about to say, like, be careful what you do out there. Like, you may say, like, whether whoever it is, you may say, well, we'll yield. We don't deserve it this year because with it being negotiated, you may find yourself because of this season and this result being like, we've thought about it. No more group of 5. You guys are going to have to go do something else on your own. It was fun while it lasted, but never again.
Sue us.
Yeah,
we're fine. Just sue us.
We'll just stretch it out over the next 5 years, and then we'll get to a 16 team and maybe let you back in.
Chaos. ACC, congrats. You've made it weird for everyone. Birthday shout-outs. Happy 10th birthday to Charlie Mattingly.
Happy 20th birthday to Luke Miller.
Happy 28th birthday to Mallory Johnson.
Happy 33rd birthday to Charles Stevenson Jr.
Happy 63rd birthday to Philip Stevens.
And we need to send all the good vibes, positive vibes to Mr. David Demitzway. Keep fighting. Keep battling, brother.
Keep battling, David. Praying for you, brother. On that note, episode 585 in the books. We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday. Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, please check out our website, okbreakdown.com, for all of our stuff in one spot. Until next time, we appreciate y'all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.